Good morning, everyone. Good morning, family. How are you? It's good to see you one more morning that you made it out of bed. Okay, I have one short announcement for everybody who is using headsets. Remember, I gave a masterclass on how to use them and how to turn them on, but I forgot a very important aspect, how to turn them off. So you just switch the button back, and because if you don't do that, the battery will run very low and it will not work the next day. So please, after you have used them and had your lovely translation, please turn your headset back off and put them back. Thank you so much. Good. We're going to start with something very funny, I think. Does anybody of you know who Ling Ling is? Yeah? Ling Ling is somebody who will always be better than you. Ling Ling practices 40 hours every day. Ling Ling has just the most experience in music history, music theory. He just knows everything. And I believe, especially in the instruments where you need the most practice to make them sound good, the violin. We have some Ling Lings here, and we have two competitors, the great Olivia Baker and David to play with us this Ling Ling workout. Now, the way that this works, both are competitors. Yeah, give them a hand. So both of the competitors will draw a piece from a bowl and a challenge from a bowl. And you will decide by your applause whether they've managed the challenge or not. Okay, let's go. Olivia, you're up first. These are your pieces.
The challenge would be to play while nervous, because that seems to be hard enough. Meditation from face.
Say it slowly.
The meditation from face.
Did you say the first part?
Oh, I was saying that it would be a great enough challenge to have to play while nervous.
Oh.
Yes, indeed, because we are Ling Lings.
I feel like if I have to say a joke twice, it means it wasn't funny.
Okay, what is your challenge this morning?
Oh no! Swap hands.
Okay, play it maybe once so we can hear what it's supposed to sound like.
If I tell you what it's supposed to sound like, you don't know.
Now swap hands. Give her some courage. Come. How to violin. Hold the violin like a cello. Now, which bow do you choose for that?
Maybe I will not use this bow. Maybe the classicist is not necessary. So, but this might be the first one. It was in a performance with dancers that I used a Slovak anthem. It's locked down, and none of the Slovaks involved recognize the anthem. Because you said like, come on, you are so nationalistic, but you have a Turkish anthem, Turkish song is an anthem. Some people, when they play a piece that they are not really comfortable with, they go back.
Or a big breath.
Okay, so keep going. We wanted to play second round, but they did so well. I think we can both acknowledge their leading status among us. Good. We have swapped up our program for the tuning today, and we're gonna continue with worship. So please, Anchi, Zsigmund, and Asumi, come front. And I would like to read a part of a psalm. It's Psalm 46, verses 7 to 11. To start this time. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. Come and see what the Lord has done, the desolation he has brought on the earth. He makes wars cease to the ends of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the shield with fire. He says, "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. That's the topic for today. So not how they did it, but how do we face difficulties and obstacles on our paths, and how do we overcome them. And here to speak to us about this, I'm very excited to announce Beat and Eileen Brink. Beat and Eileen co-founded the Crescendo movement in 1985. Eileen works at Crescendo part-time. She's Finnish and, and has lived in Switzerland for many years. She's a psychological counselor and a conference speaker, and they are a very happy, cute couple and have 3 adult children, but the most important is that they have 1 grandkid. A very sweet one. Please come on stage. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody.
Now to overcome, how to overcome obstacles. When we are on the road with the GPS, we sometimes hear the voice take another route. Because there is an obstacle coming. Or we see that a traffic jam, or hear in the radio that a traffic jam is indicated or a construction site on our route. How we govern them? What should we do? There's a certain frustration coming up out of our stomach. But how do we deal with this frustration? Recently, a newspaper in Basel portrayed this man from a traffic service. He had to stop motorists in front of a construction site, very close where he lived. And he said, I and my colleagues, we are insulted, even spat at. And it happens often that they drive under my outstretched arm. Stupid Swiss. Absolutely. Sometimes, though, he gets an ice cream. Okay. I had an uncle who was driving on the road before GPS existed. There was a sign coming up with a detour. But my uncle was so persistent. He was a scientist and he was like this, you know, and he just kept driving. In the end, he put the car in a pile of sand. The question is, how do we manage to react correctly, in a good way, in the face of obstacles? That is, not to stubbornly drive on and possibly break the car. For example, in a very, very practical way. When we get sick, what happens? Now, fortunately, not wanting to give a concert anyway. Just because it is pretty prestigious. Or not here, but in other real life. Or to keep on practicing in spite of the body's warning signals. Like in our early days of Crescendo, a highly talented music student, pianist, ruined his health by practicing just too much, not really taking care of his body and the signals. How do we manage this? And not to, for example, another option would be to freak out. Well, Vladimir Horowitz, here he is, he could he could freak out. So he was a star, you know. And as once more, Chief Nicholas Messiah told us, you know, he could afford to drum his fist on the keyboard of the piano when he got angry because he in the rehearsal he didn't play the right note. Or, you know, he could box out the stick of the Steinway piano, you know, the stick there, he could box it so that the lid thundered down, you know, on the wall. So, and the musicians were shocked, of course. But you should do that. Maybe you are a genius at Horowitz, but it's not a good way to learn. So, in other words, how do we develop resilience? How do we overcome obstacles and develop resilience? That's an interesting word. Psychology provides helpful information there.
Yes, what does resilience mean? Resilience comes from the Latin resilire, and that means to bounce back, to rebound. The word means successful coping with life. Resilience is an ability to cope with crisis and even to use crisis as an occasion for a new development. This ability, you have an ability to recover easily from illness, depression, crisis, like, you know, this corona time was. It doesn't mean that resilience makes stress or difficulties disappear, but helps to overcome such problems. People with resilience can crash or lose everything, but they can get up and go on. Maybe even stronger than before. You know, there is a Finnish word, very famous Finnish word, what we are using very much. It's so famous as sauna word. It is sisu. And this is something that is really Finnish resilience. Paulina, do you agree? It is something, you know, Finland, the history of Finland has been a very hard time, you know. And Finnish people, they just developed this Finnish sisu resilience. Yes, we go through these difficult years and we can do it together. And this is a very good word. You should learn.
She's still married to me, sisu.
Okay, let's just have a look at the different emotional pains and obstacles where we really need resilience. We may have experienced something bad. We lost a job, we don't get to the university place we want, we don't have any money, broken relationship, like that. So we can see here emotional pain, obstacle. So we have different reactions that we make. Some people are coming quite aggressive towards other people, and they show it and they are really angry and so on. But even more people are developing self-harming reactions. They are not fighting against others, but themselves. In this worst case, they can hurt themselves. You go to the endless spiral of self-criticism. I failed, I'm a loser, and we blame ourselves very hard. We can be so hard and so heartless to ourselves if we are failed at this situation. The next is escape. This is also a reaction. We don't want to have pain. Not physical pain or emotional pain. We want to flee. And this is this escaping. or we are escaping in addictions that we don't feel the pain. And mostly there's also this reaction to go to a self-isolation. We just close the door, we don't meet them, we don't want to meet somebody or anybody, and we are just there. And saying again and again, I can't do anymore, I'm finished, that's it, and staying alone. Yes. The third one is very interesting. It's paralyzed for fear. You can't do any steps more. You feel powerless. Why this reaction? Maybe you see that these fight and escape are reactions that we also have if somebody is really physically attacking us. We want to fight or we want to escape. And then is this third one. You have heard situations that somebody is just paralyzed, can't do anything. And this is because our brain doesn't work anymore very good and can't decide, shall I escape or shall I fight? And in emotional pain, this happens also. So we are powerless and there are all these things, but if I could have done it differently and if this could have happened and so on, but it's you can't move anymore and this negative spiral is going on. Now, what can we do? What is the way out from these three reactions? First, fight. You know, this mostly feeling guilty, that's also interesting. In very many cases, we are not at all guilty, whatever happened, somebody attacked us, we feel guilty. And this is absolute reaction from our brain. Or we are getting to the depression. So this being merciful to ourselves is so important. That we can really love ourselves and say, yes, I'm not guilty in this situation. I'm not guilty that COVID was here, or maybe I'm partly guilty. But the life is going on and I can forgive myself. That's the first really good step out of this situation. And escape is isolation. Of chaos, way out to go to fellowship, to meet people you trust and love, and they love you. And they are telling you, yes, we will make it together, we will help you, you can manage it, let's see this together. Very helpful. And the third, with this paralyzed in fear, is negative spiral, to have a new focus. Maybe you need there also someone to help you. Focus on strengths, your strengths, gifts, abilities, and resources. People, we have so much resources. We just don't know that, or we don't realize these resources.
And another thing is develop flexibility. I will skip this. Obstacles can actually be a chance to develop flexibility and a chance to change things. As actually in art, this is happening all the time. There's only good art because there are so many obstacles. Then we would like to finish with heavenly resilience. What does it mean? We read many stories about Jesus in the Bible. By the way, read the stories about Jesus. They are the foundation of our civilization here in the Western world. And you should know about them. And one of the stories, for example, is when a man is laying at Bethesda. This is a small bath, actually, a lake. And he is therefore 38 years and laying there, Jesus comes and says, stand up. Now, this is actually, we would call it heavenly resilience. God is Jesus coming to us. He wants to come us again and again in our lives and say, stand up. So he makes an appeal to our will. He doesn't just say, I hear you. He says, raise, stand up. And the man has to do it. And then the second thing is that there is a power in this word of Jesus. It's not just a word like this, nice weather or whatever. It's someone, who's saying, stand up, and in these words of power. It's like the words God spoke at the creation. He spoke and it happened. Now, we have 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Close your eyes. Please just close your eyes. And imagine that Jesus is standing in front of you. Maybe you can repeat this tonight as well. And he says, stand up, stand up. Where does he? And in which area of your life you have to stand up? Okay. So you can repeat this again. Just imagine that he wants to give you resilience. Then stand up and remember the other ways of resilience as well.
Team Almireza on stage. They will play a piece based on Persian folk melodies and Persian scales, which are similar to the Gypsy nature scale for us. transition?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. So I have one announcement from me, from the prayer team. They have little sheets out there where the sostenuto stuff is to collect, and you can find where to find them to pray for you. There is a morning prayer for students every morning at 8:50 to 8:45 in the teacher's room. And on those little sheets you also find a phone number on how to reach them in case you would like some prayer. And now I would like to ask Chapa to come with an announcement.
Good morning. Today I will be a bit longer than as usual. Thank you for your understanding. Just a quick survey because we are very curious in the operative team. Please hands up if you have Facebook. Okay, thank you. Please hands up if you are in the GCSI 2022 group. Okay, thank you. And please hands up if you are checking it. Right. If you are checking the news that you put here. Okay, thank you. And one more quick question. Please hands up if you use the detailed schedule that is available online through the QR codes that you can see around.
It's amazing.
Okay. I can come home tomorrow. So the program for today at 2 p.m. classical improv concert here in the clinic. At 5 p.m. a rock concert in the synagogue, and at 9 p.m. the jazz here in the clinic. Some artistic announcement. Jazz dress rehearsal between 5 to 7 p.m. here at the clinic. Baroque rehearsal, dress rehearsal between 2 p.m. and 4:15 p.m. For reconnect groups between 2 p.m. till 3:15, and from 3:15 Erika Dalos groups. Attention, attention. Rehearsal location change. Via Crucis choir, string orchestra, and string quartet. Olivia Baker, Nastasia Stefana, Victoria Menzul, Helen Rose Gulte, and Nando Kushka. Rehearsal today between 9:45 till 11 in the synagogue. Okay? In the synagogue. And after that, the Brahms Orchestra will be rehearsing in the synagogue as well. And one sad announcement, we are looking for one of the keys to the Catholic Church. If you accidentally kept it, please return it to the front office. Some general info. Today we put out the evaluation forms on the tables in the hall. Please kindly ask you to help us filling out the form so that we can develop from these feedbacks. You can drop it into the closed box in the front office. And one last sustainable announcement. Today is the last chance to take part in the Body, Mind and Soul workshop. There will be a translation, so anyone can go. The topic here is also related to obstacles. If you want to take a closer look at your own barrier, here is your chance. Last relation, I'm sorry, this word is so hard. Last relaxation, it's hard for me as well, from 10 a.m. in the Oasis, in English and Hungarian. Thank you so much.